Hi, welcome to my guitar tutorial. Be talking about a Ted Greene V system, V1 chord inversion. So look below the description of the video. I have a PDF of about 4 pages of chord inversions and some different examples. I'll also include the link to the original video I looked at. Is Tim Lerch was talking about this Ted Greene V system. So I'll start off just playing through V1 chord inversions. So you'll notice that big asterisk. So what that refers to is the very first chord that Tim talks about, and I'll include that PDF, a screenshot of that. So what I've done is I've just taken that original chord inversion, D, F, A, C, and then I've created all the different inversions on 3 different string groups. Okay, so I'll start off right on the first line. I'll play each measure ascending, descending, and then if I can grab the chord, either 4 notes or 3 notes, I'll play different pieces of that. So first measure, C. And then that's kind of a hard chord to grab there. Okay, next measure, D, F, A, C. Not too bad there. Okay, F, A, C, D. So that one's kind of a little hard one to grab there. A, C. That's not too bad there. Okay, then A, C, F, D. Right, that one's kind of hard to grab, but you can grab it in pieces. Okay, then 2 more, C, D, F, A. That one's a little bit unpractical. And then the last one, D, F, A, C. All right, a little bit unpractical. Okay, second line, so that's the original chord. That one's a little bit hard to grab, most guitars. So if you were to take that chord voicing, say move it up to here, A, then it's not too bad. Okay, next measure, F, A, F, A, C, D. All right, so that one's, you can almost grab that. So F, and then you can play. I think it's very useful to kind of play the 3-note voicings here. A, C, D, F. So 3 notes, 3 notes. Okay. Next one, C, D, F, A. Right. So that's kind of an interesting voicing. So I do an example with that later on in the video. I'll play some versions of that with that chord. Okay. And then this is the original chord, D, F, A, C. All right, that's like I said, pretty usable chord. You can move that one around pretty easily. Okay, and then one more, F, A, C, D. So like an F6 chord or D minor 7th chord. Not too bad. Okay, and then the third line is gonna be on the top 4 strings. A, C, D, F. So 3 notes, 3 notes. So those are pretty usable to use, though, and I do some examples later on. Okay, C, D, F, A. That one's a little bit hard to grab there, but if you moved it up to here, not too bad there. All right, let's see here, D, F, A, C. All right, that's a chord that you'll see me use sometime. Minor 7th chord. You just have to do kind of a hinge bar here. And lift up your finger there. So that one's movable. So F, A, C, D, next measure. So F6 chord. A nice sounding chord. Okay, then A, C, D, F. Right, so that chord is interesting sounding chord. Possible to play higher up on the neck. And then C, D, F, A. Right. Okay, so that's all the examples there. Okay, so now what I'll do, example 1, I just took this one of the versions and I just created a line here, C, B, B flat, and then I went to F major 7 chord. So I'll play example 1 slowly. this is a different type of chord. There's an F major 7, F, C, E, A, and this is a different V chord. Okay, so now I'll play it with the Drumgenius. Actually, no. What I'll do, let me do example 2 next, as written. D minor 7. Then I've transposed to G7. Then the next line is C7, C, and then F major 7. So all I've done is just taken, if you take that original chord and then you just create chord inversions where everything just kind of lays right in a row. D minor 7, G7, C7, and then F major 7. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll play example 1 followed by example 2, but I'll play it with a swing, a Drumgenius, a medium swing. This is about metronome 115. Example 1, 2, 3, 4. Embellishments. One more time. Example 2. Some embellishments. One more time. Okay, so you notice how you can do a lot with that, and especially once you get your hand kind of loosened up and stretched out, you can do different kinds of articulations with that. Okay, example 3 is F blues. So I have a backing track for this that I made. If you can check out my bass channel. I've been exploring the Fender jazz bass. So I've been creating some backing tracks for myself. Okay, so here I'll just play it as written, example 3. So F. So the fingering is a little tricky here. Fourth line F. Okay, C. B flat. All right, so you just have to kind of work out your fingerings, but notice how you have these kind of you have these kind of 3-note chords within that system. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll play through this like 3 or 4 times along with this with my own backing track. And first time I'll play it pretty straight, and then I'll kind of embellish around this around these inversions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Embellishments. Okay, so you'll see how, how useful it is to think of this system, and then how it just gives you different ways of looking at the chords. Okay, example 4. So I think what I'll do with this one, I'll just kind of play it as written, and then I'll do some variations finger style. So this is, once again, this is the chords C, F8, and then all I'm doing is just doing a chromatic line here. So that's a D minor chord, C bass, B bass, B flat bass, A bass. Okay. So I could have called. I also could have called this D minor 7th, B minor 7 flat 5, B flat major 7th, and then just D minor. Okay, so I'll just do some examples, just playing finger style. Here, just whatever comes to me. Okay, example 5. So that's going to use this voicing, D, F, A, C. So to do this effectively, you either have to play the chord like this, or if your hand is big enough, you can also play it like that. So as written, so E minor, D minor, and then C major 7. So these are all V1, part of that V1 system, D, F, A, C, and you're just playing everything right in a row. So Okay, then I thought what would be interesting here is to add in some bass notes. So for the D minor 7th chord, add the D bass there, and then the E minor 7. Sneaking that finger over D minor. Then for the C major 7th, playing, using my thumb there. So again. Okay, so then another example would be, so play the D minor like with the fingered bass, E with the open bass, then fingered bass. Then if you know these types of chords, you can play C major 7th, where you're playing a C major 7th, and then you're fingering the C with your first finger, and then the B with the edge of your first finger. So I'll play like that. Okay, so on. Okay, and then one more on that page. Example 6. Okay, F6 chord, diminished, F diminished. And then E minor 7th, and then this C6 chord. So once again, these are all V1 type chords. So then you can also think of this as kind of D minor 7, and then you can kind of think of this one as G7 flat 9, and then C major 9. So that's going to be like a E minor 7th over C, and then that's kind of like a C6 chord. All right, I'll play that example with the Drumgenius. Okay, and I got one more example for you here. This is a D minor blues. So I'll just play through this briefly. So this is based on that same inversion I talked about earlier. So it's a D minor chord with the C in the bass. Second line. Down to G minor 7. Just a pentatonic fill here. D minor. E minor. Turnaround chord here, open A, C sharp, G, C, F. So basically it's like a sharp 9 chord, sharp 5. Okay, so I'll play through this a couple times, and that'll be the end of the video. So thank you for listening and watching, and you go easy on these because these do involve a lot of big stretches. You'll notice I'm using one of these guitar holders to kind of get the guitar neck up to facilitate these stretches. Okay, thanks for listening and watching.